Hey everybody, Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard here with Luna this time. And we're doing another episode of Raiders of the Lost Comic Movie. So, Spider-Man's a character.
Yeah.
So, last year we had Spider-Man Homecoming.
Uh-huh.
This year he is in Avengers Infinity War. We're getting a Venom movie. There's an animated Spider-Man movie this year. And next year he's going to be in Avengers 4 and Spider-Man Far From Home. So there's a lot of Spider-Man stuff going on.
All the Spider-Man stuff.
So we decided we're going to watch Luna's favorite Spider-Man movie, 1978's Spider-Man Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So the story behind this one being a lost movie is that it is the sequel to Amazing Spider-Man, which me and Doug reviewed, and you can click a little link that's going to be right above Luna here. That'll and so that one was the pilot for the TV show. This is like 2 episodes of the TV show that they cobbled together for a home video release, and then in some European countries as well as Asian countries had a theatrical release. And then everyone rightly forgot about it.
Imagine that! Wow!
So, what are your first thoughts of Spider-Man Strikes Back? Is it the best Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, it's hands down. I recommend it to anyone who just really loves this character and wants to see him at his absolute best.
Absolutely.
I can't even say that with a straight face.
So, I guess the plot of this one is there is a nuclear physicist on the campus who is going to make a nuclear power plant.
Oh, yeah. He wanted to make a nuclear power plant to save the economy and such.
Yeah, and then so they were very worried that people were going to steal the plutonium and make an atomic bomb.
Like, seriously, every single person that they encounter in this world, the first thing they said was, oh, but terrorists will come and steal it and make an atomic bomb.
Look, terrorists could come in here and steal that stuff and build a bomb.
It's ridiculous. The security's been doubled on the lab.
Oh, some security.
Every single person.
Everyone.
That is absolutely realistic, by the way. That is true to fact.
Absolutely.
In 1970, what, 8?
1978.
Good God.
And so a group of students decided to steal the plutonium and make a bomb to prove that you could steal the plutonium and make a bomb.
Yeah.
And then real criminals steal the bomb and threaten to blow up the president.
Yeah. At some point they mentioned socialists.
Yeah, there was a
Goddamn those socialists.
those damn socialists.
You want him to donate to what? Honey, you got the wrong Mr. Jameson. You're welcome. The Atlantic Socialist Alliance wants Mr. Jameson to make a donation.
Mr. Jameson?
Yes, and he's so conservative, he wouldn't even eat a piece of steak if it was a little bit pink.
So that was the general plot. So, Spider-Man has a huge rogues gallery. You got your Doc Ock and your Green Goblin, your Rhino. They went outside of that. They didn't want to use any. They're like, no, we got this. We have Beardo and Johnny Karate.
I don't know how you did it, but Angel doesn't fail twice.
There has to be a first time for everything.
Who screams every time he enters. It's the most effective way to do karate if you've ever tried. I know some of you have probably taken karate here or there, and I don't know if you know, but like this guy was clearly professional because anytime he came onto the screen or started coming at Spider-Man, it just always started with "ah!" first. And it's not effective if you punch people without that. So
That's
just a tip based on this guy.
Also, he has the best way of kicking down doors. He karate
He
chops the
literally-
doors.
Forgot about that. He literally sat there. It was ineffective, probably because he wasn't screaming.
He wasn't screaming.
But he just sat there karate chopping a door, wondering why it wasn't opening. There was a handle. By the way, just for your information, I know you're gonna watch this film, but
Of course.
just so you know. There was a handle, and he could have tried it. I'm sure it was probably locked, but there were other options. But for him, he just wanted to stand directly next to the door and just whack it. If you scream, though, it'll work.
Yeah, well.
But Beardo came and saved the day.
Beardo always punches holes. He punches holes in like 3 walls.
No, that one he kicked through the door.
That one, yeah.
But the editing was just so perfect that you could see that he effortlessly just put his foot against the door, and in the next frame, suddenly he was through it. It was fantastic. I mean,
Get back.
Peter, I can't.
that guy was just really strong.
He was. So, best version of Spider-Man, of course. Because he's the only one that knows how to run like a spider.
Oh my god. The way he ran was just phenomenal. I mean, I really hope that there are spiders out there that run like this, but like, not only was he crouched over, but he had to have like like aliens hands, like he's aliens all the time, and running like this, and on his like tiptoes. It was really fantastic. I've never seen a spider run.
He runs like someone that's never used hands.
Yes. What are these? Also, like, potentially he had crapped his pants. Like that, like both of these things at once. Like with like the waddle run. It was really, I mean, you'll see when you watch this movie.
And some people complained about, the Amazing Spider-Man movie costume. I don't know if they've seen this costume. This costume is the ones you get at spirit stores look better than this costume.
They do.
Like even from the previous movie that I reviewed, the costume took a step down somehow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is guaranteed. The worst Spider-Man costume.
Yep.
Like, ever.
It's really bad. The spider on the front, like the legs, I guess, from them like disappear into like the detail of the costume. So as he's walking around, he just looks like he has a turd on his chest. But he's Spider-Man, so just ran like this. Well, it's really great. I mean,
And then his mask.
his mask,
with
though.
just the 2 bottle caps.
so bad. It's really bad. And like there's no definition outside of that. It's just
No.
the webbing, like design detail, probably like painted on with like a little tiny brush. But yeah, that's like it. And then there's that moment where he broke the fourth wall.
Oh yeah.
I forgot something broke or something, and he just like looks at the camera and he's like, and then he stops
That's true.
for dramatic effect, and then shakes his head again. It's really good stuff.
Although he did something no other Spider-Man does in live action. He had the spider tracer.
He had a plastic spider I'm sorry, just to clarify, he had a plastic spider that he put in the wheel well of a car. That is what he did.
But it's the Tracer.
He had a plastic spider that he put in the wheel well of a car. I don't know where I like when I put plastic spiders places. I don't know where they go after that. But apparently he does. No, but we have to talk about his Spidey sense though.
Oh yeah, so we get all the spider powers, and the one they were definitely the most proud of is the Spidey sense.
Used it 400 times, and it was the most patriotic spider sense ever.
Yeah, no, it's the look of a redneck looking at the American flag. That's what happens in their mind.
Oh my god! It's so bad. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. You have to see it.
America. Then we get his classic webbing where they use seriously the same shot from the first movie that I watched, where it's just like a string coming out and then you see him go, woo.
Yeah. There was even like the quick like reversal of the frame.
Yeah.
To make it look like it was super fast. It's good stuff. But he did do like the shooting the web into the web net to catch him while he was falling. That was a thing that happened.
I think they skimped on the wall crawling in this one.
Skimped on it?
Yeah, because they only had like that scene in the beginning.
Because it was probably really expensive to do.
Well, see, and if you watch the first movie,
I will not.
What they had him do is crawl on a map painting.
Oh, man.
And that was the wall crawling.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So they didn't do any of that. Instead, they went the 70s route of dangling some poor stuntman over a building.
Yeah.
And just pulled him up while he was just doing this.
Yes, it looked really believable as
he's definitely wall crawling.
He crawled up that wall. He also saved that woman that was trying to attempt suicide by
just jumping out at her.
Surprise bear hug. Like, I'm sorry, you're threatening to end your own life. Hold on!
Maybe he just knew because of his great Spidey sense. She just needed a hug.
But we didn't see the patriotic stare in his eyes as he looks off into the distance. So I don't know. I don't know.
I think everyone that's attempting suicide by jumping, they just want a hug from a strange man wearing spandex.
Sir, I have nothing to say.
They want the Las Vegas Strip Spider-Man to come give them a hug.
God, no! Please don't say that. I mean, though that maybe suicide rates will go down, but I just not recommended. Not recommended. Oh, this movie.
Yeah. So the choreography. We got to talk about the amazing choreography.
Yeah.
Everyone was kung fu fighting.
All of them. Well, you had to. It was so bad. Like, I think really, that when really I was bad. Like, I don't know, let's say 7, and hanging out with my friends out in the woods, and we were having like crazy epic fights, I think our fights were probably like better than these. It was probably more believable because at least we touched each other when things happened. Like, not with a lot of force or anything, but like it was at least believable that we were making contact.
Yep.
We would even make like the sounds. There was a time when this guy like karate kicked with a scream.
Of course.
A terracotta pot off the side of the ledge, but he like terracotta pot here, dude kicking over here, terracotta pot flies that way. It was fantastic, but
and yeah, the way they edit those together was just seamless.
Oh, the editing was so bad. I actually, like, there was a moment where I was like, I think I have vertigo.
Yeah, that one fight scene, it was so bad. Like
it was dizzying. Like,
someone definitely on set said, we'll get that in post, and they could not get that in post.
No, they did not. It was not successful.
There was some guy trying to piece this together, and that is all he could do, or he was just really high and
Yeah, it was really like, well, or maybe they were like, this fight scene is too long, we have to make it shorter. Let's just take clips.
Just trim every third frame.
Like, it was jarring how they went from here to there to there.
That one was...
It was rough.
Oh, let's see, what else was great in this? So, the main bad guy was an old white man with white hair who wore a white suit and drove a white car. I bet you can't guess what his name was.
It was definitely not Mr. White. It was shockingly, that was definitely not his name. He also had a beautiful... I love that they described, you can find him in this mansion north of LA in the hills. You won't miss it. Like, what? Yeah, okay, good luck.
Find that one mansion in the Los Angeles hills. There's only one there.
There's only one. But it was white. Shocking. With a bunch of women in the pool wearing white bikinis. It was...
I mean, you gotta give it to him. He has a theme going. And he is dedicated to that theme.
He is dedicated to that theme. So much so that I can't see his eyebrows because they're so damn white on his face. It was so unsettling watching him because I don't know what emotions he had. He was a very good villain in that sense, I suppose.
I suppose.
There was the obvious foreshadowing throughout.
Oh, about that it's going to be about nukes.
It was, well, yeah, and like the girl was like, don't you know you can die in a few hours if you inhale this dust?
If you inhale plutonium oxide, you can be dead in a matter of hours.
They don't call that stuff the deadly dust for nothing.
What do you think?
Carla?
Weren't you guys monitoring the radiation levels?
I thought we were.
You thought wrong. You all right?
I'm fine.
And then some... She didn't even die, though. She just went to the hospital.
Well, yeah.
They never finished that plot thread of the girl that got sick.
Are you shocked that they did not finish that story arc?
Of course, I expect great things from 1978's Spider-Man Strikes Back.
This girl was so concerned about the plutonium and its dangers to you that she carried the pot of it with just like the crook of her arm and like her hands clasped over here. The pot's like this big, so it's like up here, and she's just like clasping at the bottom and like walking around. Like if she sneezed, it would have fallen. So there are a few plot holes here in the continuity of her concern about plutonium and the dangers it has for humans and living beings in general.
Yeah. This is great.
Oh, the objectification.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's classic, casual 70s sexism.
I want to do a cover story on him.
You're kidding. You want to do a cover story on some weirdo who thinks he's a cross between Rudolph Nureyev and Tarzan?
The public will eat it up.
Oh, Sid, why me?
Because he's a man, and you have a way of getting men to do what you want.
Oh, yeah? Then why can't I persuade you to put somebody else on this story?
Because I know you too well.
Super cash.
You can make men do whatever you want. That's why I want you on this assignment.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't you know? Yeah, that's why. That is my best skill as a woman.
That's your only skill
as a woman.
That is the
only skill. And also, by the way, we have a plan, and I'm assertive. But please tell me what that plan is again. That was infuriating to watch. She's supposed to be a very assertive character.
Yep.
And
well, because she had her hair in a bun, so that's how you know.
She did. It was up, and she was wearing a vest. It was like a thing. And then, anytime there was a plan, she had to ask a dude to tell her what that plan was, because she wasn't capable of thinking about it on her own.
Well, thinking gives you wrinkles.
I suppose so. And they changed her into that white bikini before she
Yeah, so I couldn't believe they did this. So the joke in the first Austin Powers where like they get captured and he makes them wear this futuristic thing is like...
Do you like your quasi-futuristic clothes, Mr. Powers? I designed them myself.
I mean, that's real dumb. That's not actually in a movie, right? No, they really did it. Like, she got captured,
Yep.
and then next thing we see is she's in a white bikini, and they even mention it, like, why am I wearing this?
Yes, why am I wearing this?
More than just bluff. Very nice.
Why do I have to dress this way?
2 reasons. 1, because I like women in bikinis. And 2, I feel safer when I know there's no place for them to hide any weapons.
Also, who changed her? Anyway, I
Yeah,
always have that question.
There's a lot of questions.
I have a lot of questions. Oh, and he flew. Remember?
Oh yeah, so the grand epic ending of this
Because you're totally gonna watch this.
Of course.
This is not a spoiler at all. Continue.
is Spider-Man renting a helicopter, and then jumping out of his helicopter, flying,
like legit.
then having his web, the woo web, catch the other one, and then just dangling. And somehow the web went from his hand to safely secured on a harness on his belt.
I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest, it looked like as he was hanging from the helicopter, the other helicopter, it looked like the web had come from his crotch to the helicopter, and he was just hanging from it. You take that where you will. But that's what I saw. It was alarming.
And you'd think this would like be a big setup for him to like crawl up and then have a fight in the helicopter. No. They lightly drop him off at the place where the nuke is.
Oh wait, but not before the camera goes.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
To sell this great danger, the camera is just dangling around. Like, I really think they just hung a stuntman from a helicopter with a camera, and he's just holding on for dear life.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, it was a little rough. But sorry, continue.
So then they just lightly drop him off at the correct building, which was nice of them to do.
Yes.
And then he unplugs the bomb.
Oh, well, there was a little bit of this.
There was a little bit of quick tension of which chord.
As it counts down, and then...
Oh yeah, and he does the I found a bomb face.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my god, that was good. This is the twitchiest dude, man. Like,
I found a bomb.
Oh yeah, and my biggest complaint, my favorite thing about this character is that he is so forward-thinking as Spider-Man, and he is able to react quickly, and that's what we love about him. He can jump really high, and he's a great fighter. And so he runs, mind you, like this. So he runs to a corner and goes... and runs over here. So I feel like the thought process, like the synapses weren't quite firing in the way that I would hope for Spider-Man. You know, forward thinking, visualizing what would happen next so he knows what he's going to do. That didn't happen in this film.
I just imagine the actual film, if like you were to get the real sound from them filming, is run to the edge. No, the other edge. Your left. To the left. That way, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Wait, where do I go?
And then they're like, we got it, whatever.
It's fine. Someone's going to come at you and scream karate chop at you and kick terracotta pots way over there off. I mean, if he actually had those superpowers, that villain would have been a lot more formidable, but he did not.
Although there's one last piece we forgot to bring up, because I just remembered. The Old West scene that came out of nowhere.
Oh, God!
They just happened to come across this Old West set and have a fight scene in it.
It was spectacular. It was just good. And it starts with the strong woman coming in on her motorcycle and spilling. Just laying out. And Spider-Man has to be like, oh, hold on a second. Gotta go get her. All right, you okay? Put her in a building.
Pause, guys. She's really hurt, guys.
Oh, my God. Oh, yes. I mean, and this movie, mind you, is not set in the Wild West.
No. It's just...
It is not. It is set in
New York
and LA.
Yeah.
And but there was one scene in Miami Beach.
There was one.
And that's like it. But suddenly, he's in the Wild West with these dilapidated buildings hanging out.
Yeah.
And fighting Beardo.
And Johnny
and
Karate.
A screamy karate dude.
Johnny Karate.
I mean, I think that's disrespectful to Johnny Karate. But it was, yeah.
So after viewing the masterpiece that is Spider-Man Strikes Back, do you want to see The Amazing Spider-Man, the one that preceded this one? Or do you want to see the sequel, Spider-Man The Dragon's Challenge?
I need a few more details. I need a few more details with that title. Like, 1, is there a dragon? 2, is it the same dude? Because, I mean, we can make like a drinking game out of how many times he goes, and if they use the same footage for the web slinging.
They got to.
Like, I'm curious, but not dedicated to this cause. So...
That might be a future episode then, is Spider-Man and the
be.
Dragon Challenge.
With me returning to just rip it apart. I mean, it's so good.
So, what does this interest you in watching the 70s show?
No.
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 This did not age well, and yes, it is forgotten for very good reason.
Oh my god.
Because even for how goofy, all the goofy parts we brought up, there's so many middle parts that are draggy and slow, and you're just, oh my god, get to something.
Yeah. And it's all the same tone of speaking with the, like that 70s Hollywood dialect. Like it's rough, but I mean it's so good. Watch it.
Yeah. So, what'd you guys think if you've seen Spider-Man Strikes Back?
And if you have seen it, I really want to know.
Let us know in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up, because I need more thumbs up and positive reinforcement. See, I got 2 right there, so, alright. And, share this video with all your Spider-Man friends before you go out and see Venom, which is guaranteed to be just as good as this movie.
Yeah.
You can't deny that.
No, I'm not going to. I'm also not gonna watch it. But yeah, definitely go see Venom. It'll be so good that CGI is just on point.
We will eat both your arms and then both of your legs, and then we will eat your face right up your head. You will be this armless, legless, faceless thing, won't you? Rolling down the street like a turd in the wind. What the hell are you? We are Venom.
Editing out this part.
Yep. Okay.
Sorry.
No.